Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Awesome Premier League Lobby 1. I'm Lee Demon Smith, and joining me is Boogie. And once again, Boogie, we are in the air, and it's a bit of a harsher cut, I would say, for the boys of Georgia Paul, but everybody else is certainly fine.
Yes, indeed, that is the case. And as this is the fourth and final match, just to remind you guys at home, currently the standings for Team Kingwin, they're very close to the Plumbers. It is indeed a difference of 2 global points. So Team Kingwin are really coming back at it, but Plumbers, having had the last game that was really good, that could potentially that actually could turn things around for them. So we'll see how that one pans out. In the meantime, there's a little desktop peek for you there. But yeah, I think Kingwin could have a chance if Plumbers don't have a good last game. This could be an interesting twist of events.
Still, last game didn't really help, but I still don't understand how the position they were in, they just suddenly died. It looked like they were in a good spot, but I guess a couple of pointed nades certainly did their job. Digital Chaos Yoki's getting away with that one. Aki's going to blast on past as they managed to go in their standard loot in and around Rozok and School. Saying as expected sort of areas for them. But of course, with the plane going that way, it does mean a lot of the vehicles will be taken away for the guys trying to make their way into Georgia Pole at the moment. You can see they're all trying to get on by. Looks like, is he really going to try and land on the boat as the Unchallenged? Is he trying to land on the boat? I can see he's coming in above. No, he's going for the extreme long drop. Okay. I was just thinking, it was like, we're going to see some stuntman action going on here. We're going to guess not.
Uncharged League going for the long drop. Of course, they're going to be quite happy with looting crates as they have been so far. Zuktenam, the team that's still looking for a name, but then again, I hope they don't find it. You say you hope you find it, D-Man. I hope they don't, because I kind of liked saying Zuktenam every single time. So, they're going to be not necessarily contested. It does look like there is another team approaching. That team is, of course, going to be going on to the north side as they normally have so far. So easy time for Zuktanam and anybody going to Dorch. And especially considering the circle, this should be easy indeed. Nice little catch there from Skyline to show you, Tommy. By the way, huge shout out to Skyline, who has been the observer indeed for its night and for many other awesome events. Definitely hit him up with the, there you go, nod of approval. Hit him up with a follow there.
Many events.
Very many events. Yeah, PUBG Online, Awesome, ESU, Streamy. What else have you done, Sky?
Just about everything. Lots of stuff. Lots of stuff. There you go.
There you go. Lots of stuff.
Look at FaZe, though. Bit of a spread. Hackseti up in the Povka. This is something they've been doing. But that's risky, man, with the Knights being so nearby. But I guess they're playing on the fact that they know there's only 3 members of the Knights tonight. And they're like, you know what? Let's just go Lipovka and put a bit of pressure on them.
Yes, indeed. 3 members of the Knights tonight. I've told you that the internet is super cheap in Romania, but also the booze is very cheap there, Lee. So something.
Well, surely Survivor would be there, right? As a Geordie.
Yeah. What are you trying to say? Oh, Lordy.
Stereotypes,
UK,
and all that.
UK memes never cease to impress. Very nice, man. Very nice to tag all the Geordies in the same boat. Lovely stuff. But yeah, there you go. FCS boat, as per usual, in their Gatka fields. They're going to be quite close to the entrance of the circle, so they're okay with where they are. Digital Chaos being gifted a very good portion, a very good chunk of the circle yet again. And they're going to be holding on this time around. I don't think they're going to be holding on to where Fausto is. They could be crossing on the north side of that river. We'll find out. In the meantime, Vitality, as you were shown here by Sky, is still looting up. They're not going to make a move. They're probably going to move in after FaZe. Knights still busy with their looting. Well, Alliance taking actually Novo Repnoy, interestingly enough. So they're going to have very, very good loot, but their rotation could be a bit difficult because FaZe rotates late. So Alliance could be in the crosshairs of Vitality, sorry.
Yeah, they both have interesting rotate paths. FaZe obviously go very far north. Vitality forced to almost past shelter, as it were. So like you said, they could bump into each other. TSM, though, they've chose to go pretty early here. Of course, the path, plane path did pretty much go straight over Yasna, so they had pretty much the fastest loot. Give them a decent chance to get looted up earlier, which is why we're seeing both Smack and Aimpiara, which tells me normally Smack is the only scout to go further ahead, but I guess they're thinking maybe we're going to try and post early, get hold of the complex, they're circling around, and they will be going in there, and Charge is heading that same direction. It looks like he's going to take it a little wider along the ridge line here and maybe go to the compound just above. Either way, Raz is in that one, and Uncharged, yeah, he's just going to swing on around and go into this complex that I was about to say it's the one the Vitality won in earlier, but it's not. It's the one to the right. So
Yeah.
I will just forget that point.
All right. Good conversation here. But yeah, the compound where he is in right now, where in charge is not necessarily that easy. You could think that it's easy to defend because it seems that it's clear all the way around, but the way the houses are made is what the only good place where you can defend it is from the garage building. But if you're in the garage building, there is a ridge on the south side where you could potentially be damaged super hard. Raz seems to want to make his way though to the same compound where Uncharged was, and let's see this play here. No, it looks like Uncharged is going to be in the mansion house. Raz is going to get an
I
easy
didn't
entrance here.
realize.
Ooh, two scouts are going to have to probably finish off each other. I don't know, man. Something's about to happen here, I think. Nope, Raz
That's just sense danger
hands
or
out.
something.
I think he heard
The hairs
Uncharged
on his
and he
arm
had
were sticking up or something, and he's just like, I'm backing away, backing away.
He heard
Spidey
him.
senses tell me to go.
Yeah, I think he might have been hurt there. So Raz smartly goes back to no, he actually doesn't go back to where he was. Instead, opting to where does he go?
The thing is, this is Raz's loot path, because these guys have been up and around here anyway. Because
Yeah.
they've been spread around Watertown and that lot. So he's kind of just he's trying to do his loot path and realizing that's probably not the best. Uncharged. I'm guessing that was punching rather than taking shots. I don't know whether that still shows it that way. Either way, Neil's trying to look at Andy Pyro and Method trying to blast on by. Looks like they will get by fairly safely, though. Very hard to hit the bikes when they're moving at full speed.
Indeed, one of the guys who actually, I think it's Andy that's actually 1/3 of his life, but then again, they're going to have themselves a very good compound here where Larry's actually already pushing in, and Raz, there you go, all the way around. That's the compound that they initially wanted to get for themselves. They're going to be in a bit of a battle here with Method, as Chris and Andy have taken ground on the garage building. This is a very, very hard one to breach. We'll see how it pans out. They know the guy's coming in here, and he's going to be taking the shots, but then again, he's 1/3 of life himself. Goes in for the nade. He's going to be cooking it first. That nade's not going to be connecting with anybody here. In the meantime, Larry throws a nade of his own, but it's being cooked a bit too much. So that one's not going to go anywhere. But there goes that push. Indeed, it will be happening. Method are going to get pushed in by Team 1.
Larry spotted by Chris there. Didn't go for the shots, though. That would have been the end of him. He'd instantly been knocked down. He's not a lot of health, but he's managed to heal himself up full. Sees Raz once again. Comes into the garage, trying to push up. He's going close quarter battle. What it's all about. Wants to get as involved as he can. He's just backed out of one fight effectively and into another. And the way he's passed by. Method still waiting for the support of their two other members, of course. You've got to keep your eye on the minimap. It's going to be coming in sooner or later. Waiting for 8C to get back involved in this one. Raz now in the garage. But these garages, they are honestly some of the favorites for these teams. Oh, Larry massively tagged up. He's got no way of getting out of there either. The M16 primed on him from Andy Pyro. Oh, that nade's going to be perfect as a flash.
No, it's a smoke. Yeah, it's a smoke nade. That actually allows Larry to move out of his current position there. Otherwise, he would have been killed by Andy. But there you go. He does get a pop a first aid kit in the meantime here. And will boost himself up with an energy drink as well. Raz is going to have to wait for his teammates to push in. And actually, he's going to go for a bit of a more defensive approach, or rather, he would much go from around the side. He spots an enemy on the top side there. Chris is going to be trading blows with him. None of them connect so far, it seems, but Chris is going to be forced to get inside as someone else is pushing in, or sorry, taking shots from another place. You see that bullet where Chris is? That could connect in that same place again, and it would be on Chris. Raz does push in. Niels and Larry going to be joining him up, so that goes it. Andy and Chris are in a doozy right now.
He's got the support there, so their outside angle is now covered. I think that's 8C that's by the bridge. It's Stab. It's Stab still come on by the bridge, so he's coming for the angle over there. But Mikaz looks like he's kept him pinned, so we've got a bit of a multi-angle. Here comes 8C. 8C is the other side of Watertown, so they're both all coming into the ruins now. Watertown, sorry. Mikaz around the side. Stab wants to make the push, but Mikaz iron sighting up towards that road. It's got to be careful. Stab doesn't get caught out here. Both these looking to try and breach, but this is such a hard building to breach, and these teams have played this out like a million times in the latest custom games, maybe even, who knows, in the war mode. But Andy got it, hold the angle, M16 on burst.
Andy down. holding on to the same spot. It seems it's going to be there. There comes that push from Team 1. They're going to hope to trade some frags in here. The first one steps in. He's going to get knocked out. The second one won't follow suit. But in the meantime, it's going to be Chris that does the dirty deed and finish him up. In the meantime, it does look like that one frag did happen into Watertown. So Methods stay 4 strong somehow here. Really putting on the screws to Team 1 very early on.
Did we miss that? Because I was wondering how the guy died in the staircase. So I must assume a nade went through as they pushed in, which got the guy in the back. Because obviously he had the support in there. I didn't actually see what happened to it. And he had a perfect position. He was using the staircase to block the bullets. It's so nice. But I got to assume that Chris tossed the nade as they came in, and it caught the third man at the back, because the third man at the back died somehow.
Yeah, true. It could have been a back stab, but no, stab was actually quite far away. Yeah, I'm not too sure what happened there, but look at this great infusion of loot. They're actually dropping first aids all over on the ground. Method are doing pretty good at this moment in time, and it does look like there might be some other teams pushing in with the next circle. But this one is strangling down, so we'll find out where the next one goes, whether it's on the north or south side of the river. In the meantime, guys, do not forget, watching at home, that this is to decide who goes into the final of auzom season number 2. It's been really a fantastic journey so far, one that I wish I could have been a part more of, but nonetheless, we will see whoever wins this season throughout this weekend. So you're going to have 4 matches from EU on Saturday, 4 matches from India on Saturday, and then another 4 and 4 on Sunday as well. So plenty of matches that are going to be happening here throughout the weekend, so stick around as well with us, as well as stream me tomorrow. I do believe that one's going to be happening, right, D-Man? I'm not too sure on that one.
Yeah, we're seeing VZ here getting himself down. We were talking about Alliance, how they were having to path by Vitality, of course, but we forgot to mention the fact that Penta do go around farm a lot. So they kind of clashed into each other. You know, you avoid one, you go into the other. That just seems to be the way it goes for them as Chronix blasts himself away. So off they go. He should be safe in the circle. Oh, it's an interesting one. It's a 50-50 through the river. Do you go north or south? We don't know which way the circle could swing. Of course, not a great deal of northern compounds to be had, and they're already fairly occupied. Fade's coming in late. They're going to try and swing into where Tripoli is, I think. Fuzzface going to post up on that little Harry Potter just before it, and the rest of the team coming around in Tripoli on his own. He's got Gustav in the distance there. Lumber Mill. They are in one of the precarious positions where they need to get a good place. And unfortunately, Fuzzface already took down Tripoli.
Yeah, with the car 98 nonetheless. So there you go. That's 1 man down for Team Lumber Mill. FaZe are going to do a 2+2 split, of course, in these little compounds here. It looks like they're going to be doing a 3+1. Of course, where Fuzzface is in, it's a bit more difficult to keep, but they're going to be quite happy with their location. Right, it's a very powerful position to be in. Kate is going to be following up in the steps of the other guys from Lumber Mill, taking on the gas station there. But as they do, it's a hard spot to be in, because the ones that are north of them, actually, the plumbers could potentially take them out through those little ledges on the south side. Not ledges, what do you call them? Little gaps. So they kind of need to keep moving on. Now, here's a crate drop here, Elite. Let's see what it contains. It does have a AUG. Okay, so it's not the worst crate in the world, but it's not the best one either. During this mid-phase, an AUG would be very welcome by most of the teams here. I don't know if it will be taken. Of course, it's at the very edge. But then again, Penta Sports could go potentially for this one here.
Yeah, not really in a prime spot, is it? It's out towards ruins and their kind of no man's land, effectively. Should be left. Vitality coming in. They could choose to go the side there. TSM getting pushed in by Digital Chaos. TSM, very much a mixed day for them. Not had the greatest results. They've certainly been involved in the action. There's no doubt about that. They've been fighting the best and the brightest of PUBG has to offer. But unfortunately, it has been costing them kills and deaths as they try and talk out. Simsy trying to get a little glimpse on Rory there as he gets a little angle on him. And the really important position is actually the one to the right. The person that's stopping the flank at the moment. I guess it's APR that's over there. No, Gustav. It's Gustav. It's actually Gustav, a completely different team that's actually keeping their focus. So they're kind of looking towards it. I guess they're expecting it to be a 2-2 split, and it's not. Well, it is, but smack him, aim down the ledge.
Yes, indeed. There, Gustav should have an easy rotation to his teammates, of course, and they're going to be keeping 3 strong in 1 combat. There's no point to play a 3+1 at this moment in time, especially considering how many teams are close to them, and especially considering that from the position that Gustav was on, it was not necessarily the best of visibility to that gas station unless you go outside. So he is going to be grouping up, turtling up. 3-man strong is always a good way to play the game. It does become a bit hairy when you want to flank around. VZ now on the outside as well. You see him trying to make his way inside the next white, which is not going to be a problem whatsoever. It does look like it's not contested all the way to Roshhawk, so his teammates are going to be finding some good spot there to keep. Meter coming in close to Sigsy as they do have the 3-stack on top of Roshhawk, which is another very powerful compound to be in, especially when you can hide the cars inside that big warehouse. Now,
Yeah,
let's have a look
just
at Rogue.
wondering where Rogue's going to go with this one. They're on the low ground effectively, whereas Alliance got the high ground. But until actually Fever's all the way over to the other side of the road, so they got to split at the moment. Rogue just staying tight, sitting in the buildings, chilling. Blue zone coming in there in safe territory at the moment. It's really going to be interesting to see which way the circle does swing. Obviously, with the north-south split of the river being very much the central focus. We'll see whether it does decide to center. We have seen some horrific finishes on the grass just to the west of Rozhok, the open field, effectively. There's nothing there to stop anyone. FC Uspo, and it's an LFO that's actually coming in. FC Uspo way outside with ours. He's way out in the field, so I don't know where he's playing out there. But the rest of his team are inside. It is going to be a northern swing, and it goes very much the way of TSM.
Yes, indeed. Digital Chaos are going to be happy with their position as well. They're not going to have to move out too much. In the meantime, TSM will go 4 strong. They're not going to hold the 2+2. Knights have taken some casualties here, but that's okay because Fox is going to get the res. So, yeah, it's just run himself over. Never a good idea. But then again, Voxic will get the res, so that's okay. It's playing as 3. Should see them in the next circle a bit hard early, though. I don't think it's going to be easy for them to get inside that circle. Smock just did the same, did he?
Yep.
Can we press F to pay respects?
Press F to get out your vehicle, in your vehicle, or pay respects, either way.
Yeah, either way it works. So NPR is going to go get the res on him. Simsy shouldn't have the angle on him, technically, because there's a lot of dips in that area. Now, Vitality moving in as well, quite close to Sigsy, it seems here, but they're going to stop by a Harry Potter tower, which will see them quite safely in the next white, it seems here. Fever is going to have to rotate back, as Digital Chaos might take some shots at them. Simsy of Doom watching that angle.
Let's see how Vitality do, right? This time, obviously, they won the circle. It was similar to this previously, but they were in the same little compound, didn't need to move the whole time. They had themselves a nice little cover position. This time, they have to do the work. So we'll see how aggressive they can be. Method, they're on the move here, but they're getting picked apart. Dogs on the hill there are barking away, and they're seeing if they can land the shots. They managed to get a good couple of hits there on Chris. And whoever's on his back, I think it's maybe 8C. And maybe Andy Pyro. It's Andy Pyro. So they're in all sorts of trouble. They're going to have to post before they get to the compound. So not choosing to push in quite so early. Smack, of course, should be back alive by now. They did get him. Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. Actually, it was Break, wasn't it? It was Break that was down. Tell a lie.
No, it was Smack.
Was it Smack?
Yeah, it was Smack, and NPR went to get him. Now, let's have a look at Lumbermill rotating to the north side. They're pretty close to the Plumbers, but that's not their biggest problem, because where they're going, they're actually going into enemy fire as well. But this enemy fire is actually going to be busy against FC Espo, so that tells Lumbermill to rotate to somewhere else. Espo are going to have to park their vehicles down there. It's a very lit up UAZ, and it does look like they get a second chance at life, as Nayu isn't able to take it down in time. Now, Digger could do the dirty deed here, but that nade comes in. That should tell them that someone would be close to their south, as they're going to be able to do something with this one. As Longo and his teammate as well pushing in from one side. What could happen here for Espo? I don't think it's going to be a good chance for them to get out.
Yeah, they're in a really horrible position down the hill and outside the circle. It's just obviously not by choice. The vehicle was pretty much lit up. But look at the Diamond Dogs. This may give them a chance, right? The Diamond Dogs coming up above them. Digger gets neighbor down, and he manages to nail him. Calvin Klein with the AUG and a Wookiee suit. Oh, okay. Got himself very well hidden here. Has he took his bag off as well? I think he took his bag off. I think he's completely gone full ninja. Look like it.
Yeah, it does look like
it.
It's just a pack.
Oh, it's just a little one. It's just a little level one pack. Okay. I don't really see it in the suit.
No, it's a pan on his back. That's all he's got. It's literally it. And that's not the best thing in the world when you want to be a ninja, is have a big black object on your butt. It's actually not a lot of the times. It's not necessarily ideal, but there you go. FCS will trying to make their push from the north side here. Calvin is not going to make any kind of noise. Diamond Dogs will come in to help him out, so that may be when he gets up and tries to take some shots there. But Espo actually making it in the circle, that's kind of a surprising move, and should be seeing them with an easier rotate now that the north side isn't as much taken as the south side seems to be, especially north of that river. There's a lot of people in that one close to the center of the circle.
Looking around, the circle shrinks in. TSM once again have themselves a position. They've also managed to get a knock on Ewan there from Digital Chaos as they try and push in. Method about to get pushed in. Penta coming their way, but Method want to rotate themselves, but they get caught out in the open here, and he has to take the fight, and Chronix will down him and should finish him off there. He was very exposed in that position, probably trying to change into this 3-story. They're both outside the white zone, so neither really fighting for territory here, more a case of just trying to back out. Method, of course, still top of the tables, by the way, in terms of points. They had a very good day. Despite the fact they've not picked up a chicken dinner, they are well clear by 100 points at the top of the table. Well, 99 if you want to get precise, at the top of the table. And, of course, Rexico from Penta, who are in second place, chasing them for the top face of the week. Of course, in terms of points overall, doesn't matter for them. They're both very much solid in the finals.
Yes, indeed, they are now. A bit of a fight breaks off on the northwest side of the circle here. It does seem like a lot of teams want to play Zook and Nam are quite close to Espo. We're also quite close, it seems, here to Diamond Dogs. Now, Espo are making their move against Calvin Klein, who is proning in the grass there. Again, he's got that ghillie suit on, so he's not going to be spotted by Irish. Look at this one here. It could be an easy kill if Calvin would only take the shot, but he's actually rotating slightly away from where the action happens. And now he's in an open patch. That's a bold patch of grass. He will be easily spotted if someone actually pushes in close to him, but it doesn't look like they are. Digger. Oh, he doesn't see him at all. Nobody sees this guy right here. Now he takes the shots and gets himself one knockout and a second one to follow suit. It's just going to be ours that will try to push him as Sto Yuga is a bit too far behind. But as he goes up, he's going to have to prone back down and get knocked out as well. That nade as well will connect beautifully so, but ours is just a sliver of life left. Oh, Espo are at it again. They're in a bad position.
Yeah, and they are being watched. Watched from the hillside by two other teams, Zook Vietnam and FC and LFO. That's the word I'm after.
Oh, LFO,
both
yeah,
watching
that's
this all
right
happen. He's got Longo in his sights while FC Espo try and push up. Nade ready to be tossed out. Is that going to land over towards Dynamo? Can't quite see where it's trickled down. No, not quite close enough. Dyname, whatever you want to call him. Spanish, I'm guessing, because he's got ESB on his name. Longo down. Mini Fridge Jr. on the flank, coming around the side. Got to keep in the zone, though, along with Aki, as the Blues on all of these players' backs. Everybody's really odd position. I guess they've all been drawn to the fire, right? And just trying to make sure they play it as careful as possible. But while that's all happening, it's playing into every other team that's in there. Still 15 teams at this point with 41 alive. It's about to shrink very fast.
Yes, indeed it is now. Let's have a look at the boys from Zooktan now that have themselves a little compound there, whilst Lux from Team Diamond Dogs is going to have to heal inside the blue. Not for long, though, it seems. I don't know how much loot you can get with, well, nothing on back there. We'll see how it pans out. But there you go. The circle does show itself. Method's still in it, as you can see. But Zooktanov have found themselves some enemies, and now they're taking shots. Such a hard time for FC Espo. Wherever they went, they were gate-kept by enemy teams. They didn't necessarily pan out well with their pathing, nor their timing. And now Misse is going to have to protect his teammates. But Mini Fridge has an attempt here to push forward. He does spot his enemy. He's going to be taking the shots as well. Misse's forced to prone down, but he crouches instead. And that will see ours and Misse, the only one staying alive here, are still alive with a sliver of HP left, as Mini Fridge is posing a real threat to Espo right now.
Yeah, all sorts of trouble for them, and really nowhere to go with the circle shifting as it has. It's really made it very interesting, actually. TSM solid inside, Digital Chaos getting lit up from each side. Here's Mini Fridge Jr. continuing his little one-man campaign effectively against FC Espo with the support of his team around the side, but he's really the only one that's been trying to line up these shots. Duo hiding behind the tree. They did manage to get the revive in. Doesn't have any nades left as far as I can tell, because he would have tossed them out by now. He's got Eki covering his back. FaZe, of course, they need to move in. You can see they're taking a lot of shots here against Digital Chaos, but they need to move towards that hillside. Looks like they're going to try and play the flanking game and go right around the side. But the problem is they're going to start running into the Knights, to Vitality, everybody in and around that left side edge where they're trying to push towards.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy at all, as you called it. We'll see how it pans out later on. Of course, they're on their feet. They're making their way by foot. They do have 2 or 3 vehicles down in that little dip there, but they're choosing to leave them behind, try and be a bit more sneaky. And that's actually not a bad idea. It's just the DC that have spotted them. So Knights will be in a bit of a surprise because Knights hear DC shoot, but they don't know what they're shooting at. Here, Fuzzface could be spotted if anybody from DC would decide to push forward, but they don't. They actually turtle down that little yellow house that they're in, so that's okay for them. Now, Lumbermill takes the shots at Team Plumbers. And it looks like Team Plumbers are going to get ahead with a knockout here. T-Bone taking one down. In the meantime, it does look like Break might as well finish off FCE because there's just 2 of you, I think, left alive in this situation.
So Fuzzface gets himself closer. And as I say, look at Vitality. They're walking this way. The Knights, they're looking this way. Everybody's hearing all these shots going off. Now even FaZe are getting involved. And the Plumbers on the hill. Now, remember, the Plumbers really need a point score in this game. They need to post themselves well if they want to reach the finals. FaZe, of course, they can play massive spoiler. They're number 1, and they're number 1 for many years, I think, in the amount of points they picked up this season long. But they have themselves some angles. Fuzzface got a glimpse on them. They've got to realize that the Knights are in this house, but nobody's fired a shot. So they're playing it very cautiously, and Yempty's just running straight up to them.
He has to know that there's someone in here. He has to know that there's another team in this little combat here. He spots one through the window. Yempty is going to be taking the shots as well. He dares to push in, but an attempt was made to get out. Maya Zenemy doesn't necessarily find out, though. In the meantime, Carmen takes a heck of a ton of damage, and Hacksetti finishes off the Knights. And they're out of this game in the 10th place as FaZe deal with them swiftly.
That was swift retribution right there. Vitality taking a look. They'd just seen FaZe dealing with the Knights. They knew exactly where the Knights were, along with Digital Chaos. Digital Chaos are also making a push. They're coming up behind them. This is aggressive stuff from Digital Chaos.
They need to do this right now. They know that the next circle might not encapsulate them. So they know that there's been a fight here and that there's going to be some healing. So they're going to approach the situation knowing that FaZe are going to be, well, none the wiser to somebody that actually could come in from their backside. DC could get on top with some frags here. But that nade does go in. It's a bit of a... They have to back away. That nade did not connect with anybody. They're going to have to find a new place to enter the circle. But that's not going to be easy because Vitality is waiting for both of these teams to try and make it their way closer.
They just, I guess they saw the knock on FaZe and thought, okay, we can go for it, we can get them. And they're just not quite quick enough. But you can see, if you saw the aerial shot there, you can see them all out there. And Vitality in the background, so close as well. Break, going down low, trying to get himself healed up here. Smack has been down. Cup of Magic comes in. He gets down as well. 80 and Chris from Method come around the side. So a couple of teams all clashing to try and get in the circle. TSM, they've had the circle for the last couple of turns, but this time around they have to make a move. They have to come away from their safe territory they've been sitting in the whole time long. Alliance, meanwhile, down that hillside, still in the circle as we see FaZe lighting up Vitality.
Shiv getting knocked out is not necessarily the best of things for Vitality, as well as Yempty putting in the shots to knock out Araxi. Now, Monkey has to come out with a play here or run away because his teammate already has. It's just going to be Monkey left in this position here alone, and it looks like his teammate is taking fire as well. So it's not an easy task for Vitality whatsoever. Now, Monkey has life on him. He knows where his enemies are, but that smoke is not going to help his cause whatsoever. It looks like Shadow has been knocked out as well. So it's just Monkey in this duel in a 1v3 soon enough with FaZe. This makes things so much harder in a 1v2 situation, rather. But yeah, Araxi's going to get killed. And oh, look at that one. Actually, it's going to be DC UNAC that takes him down from afar. And that's the end of Vitality as well, going down in 9th place.
Gustav creeping up on TSM. 3 members of TSM still in there. Smack was down earlier on. Gustav's going to pass on by and try and just creep around into the edge of the circle. He's got to be careful. Brexico is ahead of him. There's a lot of smoke down there, but there's also a decent amount of ridges as TSM actually show their backs to him, realizing that Digital Chaos are up on the hillside, and we just see them get annihilated by FaZe as they push up. They've also got another team coming around. It is the Plumbers who need a good finish here. Are they aware of TSM coming around on the backs of them, though?
They are definitely not. Let's see if they will be expecting this one. Rory now pushing in with his teammate. Some needs will come in here, and that's not a good time for the plumbers to be on the outside, but they trade needs back and forth.
Oh,
Need, however, knocks two down, and this is the moment to make a push. Anonymous is going to be caught by the blue. This blue is going to bite quite hard. Another knee comes in and blows them apart. No, just one man standing there. Rory's going to be taking Anonymous down. No, it's actually going to be the play zone taking him down, and TSM somehow survive, and beautifully so it seems here, whilst AIM will get the rest from Rory, most likely, as everybody else is busy with one another here, it seems. Faith will try to make some sort of a push here against the Lions, and will get Haxetti will get a kill. Meter as well being knocked out, leaves Fever all alone in this battle. I don't think it's going to be easy for him to stay alive for too long here, as Haxetti does take shots on him. Just a sliver of life left. With 50 seconds though, he could get time to get a res. But if Haxetti would only have a nade, potentially end it all for Alliance. He doesn't need a nade. Yempty steps in and finds the frag. That's Alliance out in 6th place.
Down to the last 5, 9 alive, and phase below Method. TSM with 3 alive on the hillside. Gustav from the Lumbermill guys all alone, along with Brexico from the newly formed Penta outfit, formerly Exalt Gaming. The circle has gone to phase. Method will be able to stay pretty much where they are. They just need to adjust slightly. Look at phase spreading themselves out. That is clever. Your good old Yempty, we know he can stay low and get himself into the whatever position they're in. That they have to the majority of the circle, and everybody's got to push in against them, taking themselves the safe ground as well. TSM, they know that Brexit goes over to the left-hand side. Are they aware of Gustav? I don't know. They know that Brexit goes over there because they already saw the action between Smack, who got taken down by Brexico where he is. He's tanking the blue. Gustav, he has to make this pass, and he's going to go straight into the sights of NPR.
Yes, indeed he will. And NPR is going to be spotting him and taking him down. It's actually going to be Break that takes him down. And the rest, that's the end of Lumbermill as well. In 5th, Brexico still alive. So that's a good performance out of him. Well, that's good healing by him to put Penta Sports on the 4th place. But that's about all she wrote, as Break finishes him up as well. Now it's going to be TSM versus Method versus FaZe. Let's see who comes out on top, as AT and his teammate will move forward. Yempty as well playing that 1+1 with his teammate Haxetti, which doesn't. He could be surprised here. I don't know if this 1+1 split by FaZe, or 2+1. Okay, there you go. They're grouping up. That's a good idea. So it's not going to be a Samty Yempty as we know it, or a Yempty Samty. You know what that means, right?
Yeah, indeed, I do know what you mean. No helmets for either of the Method guys. Both low. Haxetti coming around. He's heavy-footed as he makes this run around here. And Chris is absolutely going to be hearing this and waiting for someone to just silhouette over the hill, and he will find an easy shot on towards Haxetti as well. No! Turns it back around. Gets Chris down. Finishes him off. APL now on the flank as well. AT is just sticking himself to the ground. As the rest of TSM come up and over the hill, they're going to find Haxetti. They managed to get AT down, and TSM will take the 4th and final game of the day with FaZe in 2nd place. FaZe clocking themselves up 11 kills in total. TSM getting themselves an 11-kill finish line as well. And Method, another decent finish for them. 5th, 5 kills, and almost certainly the top of the table for week number 8.
Absolutely, and they played this one really, really good. Their positional play was outstanding here tonight, and I think Stab is the MVP of the evening for the entire matches here. The way he didn't clutch, but the way he made it into top 5, top 3 situation for the entire night, it was really, really good to watch. And here his teammates also helping out with good positioning. Chris and AT really doing good. Andy hasn't necessarily shown up in this evening. Perhaps he's been actually IGLing tonight. I'm not too sure. I would actually ask him after these matches to see what's going down with the way they're playing the games. But whatever he's doing, if he is indeed IGLing, I think it's a good direction, because they somehow managed to clutch this win tonight in a beautiful manner. So there you go. Not to take anything away from TSM though, this last match saw them with quite good activity, and they knew how to clear out their angles as well, as AIM's final push against FaZe was pretty good. He went on the side flank there. He got that final frag as he should have. Played by the books, saw him get that GG and that chicken dinner, and yeah, just a great night of PUBG overall, D-man.
Yeah, they picked up them big 4 kills as well on the Plumbers, who needed the points, so that could cost them. That big 4 kill, the grenade that came and got the quick double, and then they peek over the side and destroy them. Poor old young Anonymous, the young 16-year-old player, getting destroyed, unfortunately. But we'll find out. Get yourselves onto the website. That is pubg.auzom.gg. Check out the scoreboards. Check out who the top 16 are going to be for Europe. North America, of course, will be played out later. Skyline probably cameraing for that, as he always does. But, of course, the finals for this will be all happening Saturday and Sunday. You heard Biggie talking about it earlier on. We're going to have 4 games for EU on the Saturday and 4 games for NA on the Saturday, and then the same again on the Sunday. But that's not it. Tomorrow, we have the Stream.me Invitational that will be taking part. Of course, check out that. That's Stream.me, auzom.gg. It's going to be hosted and powered by the Auzom boys. So you'll find us 3 all there once again, so we can bring you all the action tomorrow. So that's going to be at 8 p.m. tomorrow. It's 8 p.m. Basically, just set your clocks for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for 8 p.m. Central European Summertime, and you'll catch some awesome PUBG action. That's it from us tonight. Thank you very much, Boogie. Thank you very much, Skyline. And thank you very much, all the awesome admins in the background that have been working it. We'll enjoy the finals this weekend. See you tomorrow.